Sorry, so they. Okay, sorry, so the question is for November 2020, question 5A. For question 5A, so we have been told that the following trial balance was extracted from the book of David Wekesa, a farmer, as at 1st October 2019. So we have been given the trial balance there. We have been given the trial balance comprising of assets, sales, purchases, and also expenses, If you go to additional information, we have been told that we have inventory as of that 1st October 2019 was valued. So we have been given the value of the inventory, the closing inventory of a dairy cattle, maize growing, other cattle bulls, dairy cattle feed, and fertilizers for planting maize. And then number 2, we have been told during the year ended at 1st October 2019, the following distribution of the farm produce were made. So we have maize consumed by the family. So if the maize consumed by the family, that one we treat as our drawings. We treat as a drawing. Also milk, we will treat that one as a drawing. Number 3 is that manure value 600 was removed from the cow shed and used in the maize plantation. So this is, it is in that transfer. This is in the transfer of the activity. So they are removing from 600,000 from the cow shed to the livestock side. So in the cows or in the livestock, it will be income to them because they are selling to the crop side. But in the crop side, it will be an expenses. It will be an expense. So it is in the transfer. It is in the transfer, which is the same as number 4. Number 4, we have been also told that maize stock valued 1.5 were used as a dairy cattle feed. So it is an income to the crops and it is an expense to the livestock. Then number 5, cattle bull are used for the pulling carts. There is no problem with that. Number 6, depreciation is to be provided on a tractors and the cart on the reducing balance basis. So we have a depreciation, which is an expense there. We'll have to calculate and put it in the P&L, the normal P&L, not the revenue account. And then we have been given the provision of the income tax. So as per our previous format, we said for the revenue account, we take the revenue from the farming, and which is crops and livestock. We subtract expenses specifically for the crops and livestock so that we get the net profit. That net profit is the one which we're going to transfer to the normal P&L. So we can have the format here, David Wekesa, a revenue account, David Wekesa revenue account for that 1st October 2019. So since we have livestock and crops, we will have the crops here and we will have livestock here. Now have crops and livestock. Can we cut the zeros? Yes. So shows that there is 3 zeros. Now, so what is the revenue? Do we have the revenue? So the revenue side, we have sales. So sales, we have milk. Milk is for livestock. So how much is the value of the milk? How much is the value of the milk? 27,300. Another sales, dairy maize. Dairy maize. Maize is for the crops. That is 36. That's 600. We have green maize. Green maize. Maize also is for the crops. That is 11,340. We have dairy cattle. Dairy cattle is for livestock, that is 8,100. And then we have manure. Manure is for livestock. Manure is for the livestock. That is the first revenue or the sales we have for the farming. Now I get the intertransfer. You remember the intertransfer? We said it is the income on the other side and it is an expense on the other side. So we have to recognize that one also. So it was which not? It was not 4 and 3. So we have manure. So still manure, I think you could have now, you add the 2, because we transfer manure of 600 to the livestock. So this one, you can add 600. So manure, the total revenue for manure will be that 600. The total revenue for manure will be that 600. And then on the other side, they took the maize stock valued 1.5 to be used in the dairy cattle feed. So the maize stock, we have maize stock as a revenue to the crops of 1,500. So the total, get the total of the revenue, and then remember we are preparing the revenue account, so we should also have the opening stocks or the cost of sales. So for cost of sales, we'll start with the opening stocks. So opening stocks, you always find it in the trial balance. You will not find the opening stock in the additional information. So opening stocks, if you go back to the trial balance, we have been given inventory on 1st November 2018. So we have it. We will also list here, C is the for crops and L is for the livestock. Now we have dairy cattle. Dairy cattle of 54,900. 54,900. We got maize growing. That is that 600. Dairy cattle feed, I will be using now the short form. Dairy cattle feed, that is for livestock, 25,20. And then we have fertilizers, specifically for maize. So it will come to the crop side. That is 1980. What do we normally put in the cost of sales? Also, we put the purchases. So we add the purchases. So we add the purchases. So the purchases also we have been given there in the trial balance, dairy cattle. Dairy cattle, we have, let me take now the ruler because I might pick the wrong figures. So I have to use the ruler so that I don't pick the wrong figure. So dairy cattle is 40. On the other side, 40, 44. And then we have fertilizers, specifically for the maize and also for the napier grass. So fertilizers. So fertilizers for the for maize is 2160. For the napier grass is the food for the livestock. So that one will be used in the livestock side. So we'll take that one for the livestock. For the napier grass, that is 4,000. 4,000. We have maize seed. Maize seed ni ngapi? Maize seed ni 1080. 1080. We got dairy cattle feed. Dairy cattle feed 6120. 6120. So because of the space, I'll have to get the revenue first and then put it aside so that I can be able to continue here. So take your calculator, confirm with me these figures. I can start with the groups. Like 6,000 plus 11,340 plus 1,500. This one is coming to 440. 448,840. That is the revenue. So I can just put your revenue for the group is 48,840. What about the livestock? 27,300 plus 81,100 plus 3,600. This one is coming to 39,000. So livestock, I'm getting 39,000. So I hope we have gotten all the revenue. Milk ilikuwa ngapi? Milk. There is a zero tumeacha hapa kwa milk. Milk is 27,360. 27,360. I think there is a zero here. This is 27,360. So 27,360 plus 81,100 plus 3,600. So getting 39,060. So 39,060. So I can now have this and continue with my cost of sales. So what else do we put under the cost of sales? Closing stocks. So less closing stocks. Less closing stocks. So closing stock, we have it in the additional information. We have been told that dairy cattle is 54,000. 54,000. Maize growing. Maize growing is for the crops, 2,700. Other cattle boot. Other cattle boot is not for sale. So that one is just an asset. So it is not part of the cost of sales. We have dairy cattle feed. Dairy cattle feed. That is 5,400. Remember, we are subtracting these. 400. And then we have not 5400, hiyo nimechukua nyingine, hii ni not 5400 but 1620. We got fertilizers for maize, for planting maize. So fertilizers, that is 1080. Don't forget to list drawings. Don't forget to list the drawing. So we have drawings which have been given there in note number 2. Kuna maize na milk. So we have maize. Maize is for the crops, 1080. And then milk. Milk is for livestock, 4320. So get the total cost of sales. Get the total cost of sales. Get the total cost of sales. So our cost of sales, we start up here. So let me do, and kindly confirm this figure. Let's do the crops. 600 plus 9080 plus 160 plus 80 minus 700. So I'm getting 3960. So confirm. That is the total cost of sales, 3960 for the crops. Livestock ni ngapi? So this one I'm getting 80,040. So confirm the figures. Confirm the figures. Confirm the figures. So now we can get the revenue. So having done this, now we can take the less expenses. So we can less expense. So this is the total cost of sales. We got a revenue here, so we can arrive at the gross profit. So gross profit will be this revenue minus this cost of sales. So 48,840 minus 3960. So that we are for 44,880. And then the other side is 39,060 minus 18,040. We have 21,020 as our gross profit. So less expenses. less expenses. The only expense which we have it here in additional information, I don't think we have the expenses for. We have the maize, that is the transfer. Remember, we had treated here as an income. In the other side, we will treat as an expense. So we have manure, which goes to we have livestock, that is 600. We have maize stock. No, manure imetumika, yeah, so it is on the other side. Manure, it will be expense to crops. This one will be expense there. And then now after that, we go back to the trial balance. We check expenses. Kuna crops expenses, kuna labor. So we have labor. How much is the crops expense for the labor? 68, 64.80. Since it is the labor, we can combine all the labor in one column so that we can get for the livestock. So labor for the livestock, tuko nayo ngapi? Tukiangalia labor class, tuko na 1,000. We have any labor? Yes, we have another labor there of 94.80. So 94.80 plus 1,000. So the total labor for the livestock will be 10 for 80. Will be 10 for 80. So I've combined the two. Now we have other expenses. Other expenses. So other expenses, we have 724 for crops. 724 growth. Do we have other expenses for the livestock? Yes, other expenses for the livestock is 1440. 1440. 1440. What else do we have left with? Medicine. So we only left with the medicine. Medicine is used in the livestock, so we have medicine of 1080. So get the total expenses and get the net profit. So take the gross profit minus expenses. So we got 44,880, or let's get the total expense, 600 plus 6480 plus 72. Depreciation ilikuwa ya nini? Okay, it will not affect the revenue account. So I'm getting 7,800 as the total expenses for the crops. And on the other side is 14,500. Get the net profit. 44,880 minus 7,800. This one is 37,080. The other side is 21,020 minus 14,500, getting 65,20. 65,20. So that is the revenue account. 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 So if you have any questions, you can ask. So No swali. So if you're not getting, there is a place where you are not getting, you are free to ask. So let's now do the revenue account or the income statement. So income statement, we will pick the revenue account. This one now we don't have the side of the livestock and the side of the crops. We combine, it is a general income statement. So we have the revenue from crops, which is 37,080. We have for livestock 65,20. Get the total. So the total is 43,600. Less expenses. Less expenses. So for expenses, we start with the additional information depreciation. So we add the depreciation. So it is always good to start with additional information so that you don't forget. So depreciation, you've been told that depreciation is to be provided on a tractor and cut on a reducing balance method. So with the rate of 25% and 12%. So we have tractor, 25% of the net value. 25% of the net value, since it is a reducing method. So when you hear the word reducing method, note that you are using a reducing method, which you have to take the cost of the asset minus accumulated depreciation. If the accumulated depreciation is not there, which means the examiner has given you the net value. So what is the tractor? So we have been given the tractor with a net book value. So what is the cost of the tractor? 32 400. So what will be our depreciation? 25% of 32 400. That is 81 100. We have cut 12% of the value of cut. Cut net book value 3,000. So 12% of 3,000, getting 360. So that is expenses from the additional information. We go back to trial balance. So in the trial balance, I can only see the general expense of 10,800. Do we have any other expense? No. So we have general expense. General expense of 10,800. So get profit before tax. Get the profit before tax. Get the profit before tax, which will be 43,600 minus 8,100 minus 360 minus 10,800. So our profit before tax is 24,340. Less tax, 30%, not 30%. We have been given the tax.